I get to introduce Brian Trollman. I'm excited, okay? I've watched his videos. I was shocked. I've known Brian for a while, okay? And I could have never told you the collection that this man has until he started doing his videos. It was like, my God, he's got a collection from someplace. I'm not allowed to say that word up front. But and then he started doing the videos, and I'm just sitting there going, wow, he's better than Jaskolski. So I asked so I asked him to come here and do the seminar for you guys, and graciously he accepted. And Brian, I appreciate it, I really do. Brian, you know I still love you, buddy.
We're talking later.
Well, I gained one, lost one. It's okay.
Battle of the Bryans for the ages.
I have to leave. I've got duties. And hey, these two gentlemen over here with the muscles, this one here used to be a cop, never carried a gun. His whole body is a weapon. Do not go near Brian's stuff. That's all I've got to say. All right. Have fun, everybody.
Hey, you guys, thanks for coming. I really appreciate this, and thanks, Rick. Thanks, guys, for keeping an eye on this. Again, for folks who've heard this already, go ahead and ignore this. But for folks who've just come in, these are small dispensers way up front, and the theme of this is kind of spot small differences that make a big difference in value. So get online. The Wi-Fi here is C-L-E-I-N, C, capital C, L-E-I-N, and you want to go to Virtual Pez Convention on the Facebook website, whatever, app. Virtual Pez Convention. We got Morgan and Landon up front that are live streaming this and recording it. If you want to watch it later, it'll be on their site as well as the Facebook page and YouTube site. I run Pez Through the Ages, so you can see all the close-ups live in real time. Thank you guys for doing this. I really appreciate that. Just make sure you turn your volume down because you don't need to hear it live and then like 2 seconds later. That doesn't make a lot of sense. 7 seconds. Same concept. You don't want to hear it.
It's so we can bleep you.
Yeah.
If you say New Jersey again.
If you've got questions, just go ahead and ask them. I do have about 40 or 50 things to show you in about an hour. So if you want to ask questions after, that's cool as well. The whole point of security guards over here, though, is I don't have any glass or anything else here, and I don't want things to run off. So I just ask if you've got a lot of questions, let's just do it from the seats, and I've got nothing afterwards. The history behind this, though, is 22 years ago or so, I didn't know about conventions. I didn't know about the John Laspina price guide. eBay had about 25, the old timers here, you remember, there were only about 2,500 listings at a time. You search for Pez, 2,500. Now it's like 50,000. There were fewer licensed items. You could only watch about 20 items at a time. So I would bid on things for $1 that I knew were $80 or more. And then I would look at what it would finish for, and I would write it down. I thought I was making a complete list of all Pez out there, and I'm still trying to do that. But I would watch for what it would sell for, and I'd kind of make my own price guide. And I would notice some things would sell for $20, $25, $30, somewhere in that range again and again and again and again. And then I would start bidding $18. And if I ever won it, great. I won it, under market, I win. But sometimes it would hit for $80, and something didn't make sense about that. So clearly I thought there had to be some sort of difference between the $20, $25, $30 piece and what I thought was the same piece that was $80. So I'd look into the listings, and you guys know eBay, there's rarely good pictures, rarely good descriptions. Let's start looking and start spinning the pictures around, and what is it? Is it a difference in the head? Is it a difference in the color? Is it a difference in the stem? Something's different about it. And over time, I started to pick up on these differences. Eventually, I started going to conventions, but you go room to room, and you see one example of something in each room. Dealers at the convention typically have one example of something. Then you get the mega dealers like Joe and John and others that have 6 of something and well labeled. And you start to see things like Mickey with big ears. And you're like, oh, what? Big ears? What is that? And you start reading the price guide and you start seeing descriptions like that. Still, I'm looking at this after 20 some odd years of real collecting, and I'm still seeing differences that I didn't realize were real differences that made a difference in price. So I wanted to share some of these things with you, and how you watch some of the, there are a couple of really big collectors here in the room. If you watch these folks in the room, they're not going in with their list of, I'm looking for a pirate, any pirate, and I want the one that's the cheapest pirate. They're looking for the pirate that's different from all the other pirates, and they know what to look for. So I want to teach you how to do that so that you can spot a pirate that's standing all by itself and say that pirate is different from the pirates that I don't even see here. Because on eBay, they're not going to show you 12 pirates all next to each other, right? They're not going to show you what a normal mane on a pony looks like and say, here's one that's different. They're just going to show you the pony. And you have to be able to say, that pony is different, and it's not a $60 pony, it's a $600 pony. And so I'm not going to tell anybody, there's nobody to tell. I'm going to wait till the last second, and I'm going to bid on it, and I'm going to grab it. So I'm hopeful that I can share some of these secrets. The magician that teaches you the secret at the end, except it's not magic. It's all there in the price guide. We're the community that shares these type of things, unlike other collector communities. You can go into any dealer's room and they'll share this type of stuff with you. It's right there on the little stickers on the front. So anyway, there's videos, there's tons of books. If Josh Bales is in here, he's inspired me to do the videos. Josh? Not here? Still an inspiration, but... Again, if you're brand new to this, get on Virtual Pez Convention, and you'll be able to see the details. That's about it. Let's do about 40 or 50 of these things. Let's see. I'll start with one that I started with as the preview. Can you hear me if I get away from the microphone?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Which one's the live one? All right. And can you see this?
No, it'll be a 7-second delay.
All right. Well, I'll start talking anyway. So what I've got here are, I won't even do that. I won't hold it up. I've got, can we move the recorded one over here?
Yeah, we can do that.
So I've got the Indian chiefs here, and all the Indian chiefs that are white and yellow, and so not the marbly headdress ones, they all kind of look the same. Sure, there are the, what do we call them, the Club Med ones, the darker head varieties that are easy to spot. But the normal head ones all look about the same, except for Brandon, wherever he is, somewhere at the back. There he is. Thank you. However, if you look at the stem, you'll see that some of them rarely are Hong Kong stems. The Hong Kong stems are worth more. Of course, my notes are behind me, but the Hong Kong stems are worth more. And the reason for that is not because of the stem, it's because the headdress is totally different. It's bigger than the Austria headdress. The feathers are bigger, the yellow part is different entirely, but on eBay the pictures are usually, they're not focused on the stem, and they're not going to describe the stem because nobody knows that the patents are important. The real thing to look for, in my mind, the easiest thing to see is the yellow part right above the forehead. If they are kind of bulging like sausages, then that's Austria. If they are just straight up and down, kind of narrow like pencils, that's Hong Kong. So it's an easy way to spot a difference between so all the values I'm going to say today are more book, and the prices have gone up recently versus everybody here's got excited about Pez, and congratulations everybody, prices have shot up. So let's just go with kind of relative values. The difference between a $100 Pez and a $150 Pez, okay? So look for the pencils. You can go into every room here today. Dealers, go back to your rooms and look first. The Hong Kong ones have the pencil ones. Those are the more valuable ones. Thank you for the mic help. It was the one on your right. Okay. Let's do Let's do a simple one. This you'll find in the 50-cent bins. Can you see that one? Okay, this is Yosemite Sam. Nice and easy. Long whiskers, 50 cents, $1. Find it on a card. Ooh, that's exciting. The one with the long whiskers, extremely common. But the European one, they started to make with the short whiskers so that it could fit the body parts. You may have heard Steve Glue talk about it yesterday. I'm sorry I couldn't make the whole thing, but the body parts, of course, Steve Glue related. Short whiskers, what is it, $5 to $8?
Yeah.
Versus $1 or $2. Maybe an exciting find for you. It's definitely a difference. It's a difference in value, but go ahead and look for that. You may skip right over Yosemite Sam. You checked it off in your price guide, but it is a difference, and it's a difference in value. It's a big difference percentage-wise. Let's talk about some differences dollar-wise.
Man, how about the stem color in those? Right.
So I'm not going to do a lot of stem color differences. That's not a difference in, I'm going to do difference in value. And for me, Yosemite Sam, stem differences are not a difference in value. But there are huge amounts of differences in stem colors out there. A topic for a different seminar. Thanks. Santa B. These guys look very similar from the front. Ideally, you'll find a picture of these on the back. If you're, again, dealers go first, but if you're in somebody's room or tomorrow at the show, take a discreet look at the back. If you see the kickers and one of them is red, that's what you're looking for. That means the head is red plastic. Look inside if you're not sure. Red plastic instead of white kicker or white plastic. The white plastic means that it is white plastic head painted red. See the top here? If it is red plastic painted white, hold on, what did I just do? Yeah, red plastic painted white is twice the value. You've gone from, I don't know, $150 to $300. Almost impossible to tell from a fuzzy picture on the front. Found this on eBay for the same price. So one way to do this, by the way, is just set up a whole bunch of eBay saved searches. That's my secret. I'm now sharing with everybody, and luckily I've already found everything, so you can, sometimes they won't take a picture of the back of the head, so you can look at the hinge holes as well. All right? If the hinge hole is red all the way through, you've got the right thing. That's Santa B. All right, let's do another easy one, but one that is kind of near and dear to me. We used to have a thing called the Pez Heads Yahoo groups. Again, old timers out there. It's before Facebook took over. We had Yahoo groups. We weren't allowed to share pictures. It was, anyway, it doesn't matter. My OCD caused me to make spreadsheets for everything. And there were, everybody thinks there are 7 colors to the turtles. They're all wrong. There are more than 7 colors to the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. Here are the 7 times the 8, or whatever it is, the 4 different bandanas, the 2 different faces. There's 56, right? Everybody knows there's 56. Please stop saying that. There are light pink stems, and there are dark purple stems. I don't know how you're going to find these, but if you look in your 50-cent and dollar bins, you may find these. If you do, you're very lucky. These are, I don't know, $20, $30 a piece. They're really hard to find. They've got cool little stickers on the front. If you find them, please send them to me as a nice thank you for this video. That's really not a difference. I mean, that's maybe obvious, but I had to say it. Be right back. Here's a couple that I've never really found in the wild for just kind of hiding there, but I have dreams about this kind of stuff, so hopefully you guys can. Indian Brave. These are your normal ones, and I don't know what they're going for these days. I'm gonna guess somewhere in the low 100s. These are your normal light and darker face Indian Brave. It is a piece of black plastic with a lighter piece of plastic glued to the front of it. There are two other versions out there, and I believe currently both John Spina and Joe have one of the other versions for sale in their rooms. There may be others here, but there may be some out there in the wild. There are ones that look very similar, but they are one solid piece of plastic, one of which is a brown piece painted black, and another one is a black piece of plastic painted brown. And they are in the book for somewhere over $1,000 a piece. So save a search for Indian Brave and inspect those pictures really carefully. It'll be a tremendous amount of wasted time. But if you ever find one, and I have not, it'll be worth it in the end. This is the stuff where I wake up with really happy dreams. All right? So,
Oh, yeah. That live.
like you guys have never had that happen. All right, for those who watch my YouTube channel, you probably heard this one before, so I'll be relatively quick. Zorro. Again, I don't know what these are going for, but Zorro, there's curved masks, there's straight masks. Here's one of each. And there may or may not be differences in value, but that's an easy thing to tell the difference. The size of the logo, typically not well described on eBay. It's just a logo stem. Can you see that well? Do I need to change the lighting here?
There we go.
Change the focus. There are two different sizes to the logo. The small logo is the more valuable one, if memory serves. The way you can tell is the length of so if you're looking at them side by side, it's easy to tell. But if you are looking at just one, look at the size of the swoosh under the word Zorro. If it extends past the O at the end, it is the long or the large logo. That one's, I don't even know. eBay prices, 60 bucks. The small one, 100 bucks, give or take. But rarely, I mean, if it's just an eBay seller that doesn't really know Pez, they're just going to call it a logo stem. So bid on it as if it's the large logo every time, and eventually you're going to win it for the large logo price, like I did, and you'll have a small logo for the price of the large logo. Good? Yep. Good. All right, same type of approach. Forget the color of the handle, but focus on the color of the gun itself. One is orange and one is red. The orange gun is plentiful. Again, I don't know the current prices, but let's go with about 35 or 40 bucks. Again, relative values. The red gun, about 100 bucks with the same color grip. The yellow grip, by the way, will put you somewhere over 200. Probably more than that now. But on eBay, they look almost identical. So know that there's a difference between orange and red. If something looks a little bit darker than your normal orange color here on your left, bid on it as if it's an orange gun. Be prepared to spend 30 bucks. That's okay, you'll have a $30 gun no matter what. Take the chance, and if it's red, well, then you just got a gun that's worth 3 times as much. That's how I built my collection. Willing to have something, duplicates that are worth what the lower version is worth. And if they're worth, if it's a duplicate, then, you can sell it for the same price. But you're going to get something that's a lot more valuable if you're paying attention. All right? Is this helpful? Am I doing all right?
Yeah.
All right. Now, I didn't know this one existed until Gordon Handler, who couldn't be here, showed me this in his collection. And I searched for this for years, and then I just broke down and bought one at full value because I couldn't take it anymore. This is Tom of Tom and Jerry. There's one with white eyes instead of yellow eyes. This is the one with the plastic eyes. Yellow eyes are a different piece of plastic, whereas the white eyes just take the whole mouthpiece and just keep on going up around the eyes. The yellow eyes are, I don't know, $4 to $5 or so. The white eyes are $400 to $500.
Wow.
Yeah.
Tilt down
Tilt
just a little
down?
bit. You can, there you go. Now you can see how it's connected
Okay.
and
Oh,
not
yeah.
connected.
That's good.
You may find this on eBay. I really don't know. The dealers here know what they have, and they should. Joe's got one in his room if you want to take a look and add this to your collection. Similarly, both Tyke? The gray mouse and the brown mouse, Jerry and his buddy, have insert ears that I've been looking for on eBay for years, and I just can't find them. But same type of thing. This is one of those things that kind of slips under the radar. Nobody knows to look for it. Now you all know, and you can fight over it.
Bidding war.
Who's going up even more after?
Okay, let's do a simple one. Find this in your dollar bin. Here's Wonder Woman. Wonder Woman has a flat star. This is Wonder Woman A, I suppose. So you can find this one with feet and without, but on your left is a flat star right across the headband, but the earlier version has the raised star on that headband. The raised, the flat star is, I don't know, a couple of bucks at most, but you'll find it in the dollar bin. You'll also occasionally find the raised star in the dollar bin, and I typically will see that going for $5 to $8. Again, a good percentage increase, not a large dollar increase, but my kids particularly get very excited when they find that and come running over to me. Look what I found, look what I found, can I sell it? You sure can, kiddo. And then they spend it on candy. But you know, this is a very exciting find, much like the Miss Piggy with eyelashes, which I didn't bring. This is one of the really exciting finds to start digging around in those dollar bins and find some great hidden value. Again, you're looking for the raised star on Wonder Woman. I'll do another dollar bin. These things are out there in the wild as well. I wish I found mine in the wild. I think some of you have found yours in the wild. This is the Ladybug. The Ladybug from the Bug series. There are 9 bugs out there. Sorry, Landon.
Oh, you're good.
The one on your left has black antenna. Am I in the way?
No, you're good.
The antenna black is the one that's full production. It's 50 cents. It's $1. You can get excited if you find the Slovenia stem with the upside down R. It's still 50 cents or $1. The one on the right has red antenna, and it's $400 or $500.
Wow.
You can find it in the wild. I'm looking at some people here that I'm pretty sure have it. One was recently found in the wild, and 50 cents or $1. So when you see those big, hey, here's 20 Pez for $4, take a look at that Ladybug. You may find it. And that's a pretty amazing find. It's up there with finding the gold SpongeBob at your local 7-Eleven. Take a look for that one. If you run out of money tomorrow and you're just walking around making friends, that's great. But dig through those dollar bins. See if you find one, and then grab a microphone and announce it to everybody. This is some of that excitement that we're looking at. Yeah.
Euro release.
All right, let's do elephants. What am I doing with elephants? What am I? I brought a lot of elephants and I don't exactly know. So, elephants.
Pachyderms, zoo animals.
So, I don't know if you guys are like me. Initially, elephants all kind of look the same except for what's on top of their heads. There's orange, and you got flat hats. Am I on camera there? You got the hair, and you got the pointy hats. There's 3 different kinds. And there's all kinds of shades of orange, right? And so, all right, I'll get an orange one. That's the cheapest of the flavors. But there's also the different stems. And who cares about the stems? It's all orange. Well, you're not going to be able to see it, and that's okay. Let's say Austria, common flavor, all right? But Yugoslavia is a slightly larger head than the other ones. Do we care? Maybe. The Yugoslavia is going to be a little bit more expensive because of that. But what you can see here, hopefully, do I want that one? Nah. The one on your right is fluorescent orange. And all by itself, that's kind of hard to tell. But now that I've told you, unless you're studying that price guide, and there's a lot of elephants there, you may just go, oh, I'll just get orange. Note that there's a fluorescent one out there. And that fluorescent one, I gotta look at my notes for this. The fluorescent one is about $250. So it's a difference between, I'm guessing the orange ones now are maybe in the close to $100 range, $70, somewhere in there. If you find the fluorescent one, that's a good find if it's anything less than $225, $250. And it's on a regular Austria stem. So take a look for that one. If it's glowing on your screen, that might be a good hit. Again, you want to find it for something close to the regular price. That's the whole name of this game. Bid low. If you lose it, that's okay. You know, you'll get something later. But bid low as if it's regular so you can get the secret prize. We'll do another one of those. Is Misty here? Misty likes to collect cows. And so if you see a yellow cow, that's great. A cow is, what's a cow? $75, yellow cow? About that? If you see one that glows on your screen, what's a neon yellow cow these days? 300 plus? So if you see something that glows out of the ordinary on eBay, bid 75 or so, bid 80 even. Try to win it, but don't go 300. You know, if somebody really knows what they're going after, let them have it. But this thing's worth a lot more than one of these. See that difference? Okay. Too fast, too slow? Just right. Okay.
I was all mesmerized.
Okay. Here's another one that's hard to spot, and I can't remember if I know I've done at least one video on this. Here's your regular black wheel. Too high, too low?
Okay.
Regular black wheel truck. Just about every truck out there, I know you guys are sick of hearing me talk about trucks. Black wheel truck. Take a look at all the trucks you see in the C truck variety. If you don't know what a C truck is, I'll talk to you later. Rolling wheels, whatever. But this one, same truck, it's got dark blue wheels. It's super hard to tell, but the dark blue wheels are 150 bucks or more. Really hard to tell unless you look at them next to one another. And hopefully you can see it there. You can find me later and I'll show you after this seminar. But they're very close. It's hard to tell unless you see them side by side. You'll see it in the book. 20 bucks, 25 bucks, 150. This one's broken, but that's okay. I'll take the wheels off and put them on something else. Figured I'd break it on my way here, so I'll fix it later. All right, that's it. Yeah. All right, we're not even halfway done here. Let's do the angel. Here's another eBay trick for you. An angel's an angel. One thing to look for is the loop on the back, but that's not what this is about. Some of the angels had a little loop so you could hang it on your Christmas tree. This one is about the eyeballs. These eyes look similar, but they're not similar enough. The angel on your right has smaller eyes. That's because they're painted on. That angel's about $40 or so. Again, relative value. The one on your left has bigger eyes and they're a little more, well, they don't look painted. That's because they're removable. They're separate pieces of plastic. Those eyes, because they are removable, that's the only real difference here of any value, that's $100 or more. So 40 to 100, but most folks on eBay will just list it as angel. So if you and the other bidders don't know what's going on, you may be bidding on something you all think is 40 bucks. Go ahead and bid on it as 40, you might end up with a $100 Pez dispenser. All right, all right. Staying in that theme. I don't even know how to show this one to you. We're gonna do it anyway. Everybody loves a good blue mimic. Do I need a white background for this one?
No, I think you're.
They show up.
They show, yeah, that works.
Okay, blue mimics. Of course, now I don't have my price list in front of me. Let's just go with basic values here. Sure, there's different hat colors, but the real value for these is in the shade of blue. Shoot, I don't even know. There's your normal blue is somewhere in the, let's call it $100 range, maybe a little bit less. The one on the far right, that really dark blue, we'll get to that in a second. That second to the right, from the right, is what I'm going to call royal blue. That's maybe $500. The one next to it is what John's got listed as dark blue black. It's about $1,000. If you can find out, this is not going to come up on eBay a lot, but if you're looking for diamond in the rough mimics, you want to go super dark blue, super dark red, but it's difficult to find these things without others finding them. You're not going to find these kind of color differences from the mega dealers here at the shows without appropriate pricing. That's not what this is about. It's about the diamonds in the rough on eBay that aren't side by side. So look for decent enough pictures with poor descriptions and bid like it's a regular blue. And don't be surprised if you lose, but go for those dark colors. All right? All right, if you want to see a Colgate Skull afterwards, come on up. These are tough because the angles of the pictures are really tough on eBay, and I'll probably screw it up here as well. I'm going to keep moving this back and forth so you get some different angles. A Colgate Skull is on the right here. It is one where the production process, for whatever reason, filled in that missing tooth. Colgate Skull, the prices are all over the place these days. One on card sold for something like over $700 not too long ago. I think one sold here for over $400, give or take. 5, somebody's telling me 5. Will someone take 6? The Colgate Skull is somewhat hard to find, but they are available on eBay as regular skulls. They will drive you nuts to look for, but the one on my left, you all have it in your collection for 50 cents. And if you don't, you can get one for 50 cents. The one on the right, if someone knows what they're doing, it's $150 loose, give or take. Probably give. So take a look for that. Be careful. Just make sure you, well, be careful. It is not uncommon to hear stories of people think they're getting a Colgate Pez only to receive something in the mail that is just a regular skull with a really bad picture or something.
Yeah, that happened to me.
Sorry. Wasn't calling you out specifically. It's probably happened to half a dozen people here.
Aww.
All right.
Brian,
Yes.
was the Colgate Skull just the European market where the mistake happened, or was it in the U.S. too?
U.S.
U.S. I hear.
Okay.
And this beanie to drive around in that box.
Phyllis has one.
Sorry,
on
I
the
didn't hear
card.
that. Say it again. What was the answer?
Yes, they were here.
Thanks.
I think this beanie needs to drive around and get them all out of the boxes.
Oh, okay. Well, the answer for everybody online was yes. Yes.
I've seen
In the U.S.
I've seen one in Phyllis's collection that is on Euro card or Canadian card. I'm not
Oh,
sure
okay.
which one. So.
Carded as well. Thanks. All right, so the Fuzzy Cat, or Cat with Derby. You've all seen this. There's a Hong Kong variety with the cheeks shaved off, but you know, if you're looking at this all by itself, super. $60 or so. But if I showed you this variety, would you think it's any different?
Darker red.
Yeah, somebody up here said it's red. Everybody else is on a 7-second delay. If I show you them, if I show you them together, you can see it. But again, if I show you them separate, but now if I put a third one in the mix, you can see the differences. So there's orange. there's red, and again we've got neon. Remember there was the neon or fluorescent cow, the neon or fluorescent elephant. You want to look for some of those really popping colors, and then look at your price guide to say, is that neon or fluorescent? Is there such a variety? The orange is your more typical, it's about $60. The red, a little more rare, about $80. And the fluorescent or neon, about $350. So keep an eye out for these types of shades. Let's do another one on shades. Here, we'll do this one, it's super fast, and then we'll go back to a more expensive one. I did this one just a couple days ago on YouTube. I'll be real quick on this one. As a result, this is the Toady Skull. There's the there's the glowing version, which we all got excited about in the dollar version of excitement, and then we all got really excited about the non-glowing white version in the $4 to $5 version of excitement, and then there's the brighter white version that I've got excited about in the $8 version of excitement. So there are 3 versions of this out there. There's difference in the country to be able to find those. I mean, honestly, depending on what kind of crazy you are, and don't be mistaken about this, we're all a certain level of crazy just for being in this room. You at least want the glowing and non-glowing version. But if you're looking for extra level, if you're going for that 10 level of crazy, you want both China and Hungary, and you'll have both bright white and brighter white. But let's do something else here. Shades. Let's do Dalmatians. Again, I've done a video on this, so we can be a little bit faster on this one. There's Dalmatians. There's ivory and white kind of things. These Dalmatians are $50 to $60. Thanks, Marty. Yep. 50 to 60 bucks. And if I showed you some Dalmatians in a different room or a different eBay auction, you'd go, okay, Dalmatians. Or you might say, you know what, I looked at that price guide, or I looked at Sean's book or Aaron's book or somebody's book. Those Dalmatians look brighter to me, like all that fluorescent neon stuff we just talked about. But if you look at them together, there are distinct differences. Now, there are 5 different things in John Laspina's book, and honestly, I don't get the difference between bright white and glossy white and different spots and that kind of stuff, and I'm not going to do that for you today. The important point is that here, look at the back here, that the ivory stuff or the stuff on the right is in the $50 to $75. This stuff, shaking, is in the $50 to $60, $75 range, and these are in the $150 to $175 range. So again, if something looks nice and bright, it's more expensive, more typically.
Is there any difference in pricing based on the eyes?
I think yes, but again, I haven't quite figured that out. So different in pricing. I think John's book has got all the different spots and glossy and all that stuff all in the $150 to $175 range.
Some are just the pupil and then others are outlined.
Yeah, I think they should be different, but John's got them the same, and I don't know enough about it. So, I wish I could tell you.
Excuse me, Brian?
Yes?
How do you tell the big difference between if it's smoked, covered, whatever, or ivory? Because I've had things that have only been ivory, but somebody said, oh no, that's smoke damage.
Yeah, so, a great question, and I'm not, Jason, is Jason in the room?
He's not, but if you like pick the head up and look underneath, usually you can tell or take a part off the Pez, like a hat off of it, and look under the hat. So that's when you can tell the smoke damage you can get under the hat or under like an eyeball or inside the head. Sometimes you can tell from the sleeve, when you pull the sleeve out, it's yellow on top.
So
A lot of times you can tell from other parts of the Pez are removing something that is smoke damage. It smells sometimes.
Thanks, Mike. So the question, everybody, was how do you tell, some of the stuff gets discolored over time, and the question is it due to sun, is it due to smoke, is it due to time, aging, and the answer to all those questions is yes. Mike Pisano had answered, well, you can take it apart and look under the head, and give it your best glance. See if it has changed color in different parts over time. Smoke is going to be less uniform, more uniform than, say, sun is going to be more on the outside or more on one side, and the inside will have stayed more the same. But if you look at the Stormtrooper, for instance, some of that plastic, Star Wars Stormtrooper, a lot of that plastic changes colors over time without smoke. So you have those in your own collection, and if you're not a smoker, you'll see that it's become more yellow over time. Okay, here's a fun one to look for no matter what you have in your collection. You probably have the Pezosaur, one of those unlicensed Pez items. It didn't have to pay anybody to make it. It's got this nice purple eyepiece. It's 50 cents, $1. Find it in your bargain bin. But you may or may not have this one with the lilac face piece. You put them right next to each other, and hopefully you can clearly see the difference. It's right there in John Laspina's price guide. It's a difference between $1 and $20 to $25. It's much harder to find, therefore the difference in value, but they are out there and relatively common to find. I found mine, in a dollar bin. They're out there. Take a look. It's one of those fun things that'll get you down on your knees crawling through those bins. Okay, I found one of these last night. What am I doing here? Okay. You may want, there's some Mickey collectors in the audience. Have I still got you guys? Am I making sense? Okay. All right, Mickey Mouse. Die cut. Is this going to show? I'm doing size of ears. Is that going to work?
Yeah.
Okay. Mickey Mouse with the die cut face, not the die cut stem. We're just going to talk about the face. Take a look at the ears. This is one that I have found really tough to figure out unless you're looking at them side by side. The ears are, on this one, small, but if you're looking at any other die cut face, how do you know if it has big ears? Did you know that there's a big ear variety? Yes. All right. So here they are. Is this going to work?
I think if you put your hand up behind them, that works.
Okay. Hopefully you can see the difference in the size of the ears. Some of the dealers hopefully know to mark that. It's a significant difference in value. You go from about $50 to about $120. And it's a big difference. Now, here's a harder one. Have I got the right one up there? Damn it. I did not. It was big ears, but here are two big ear Mickeys. One of them has a wide face, and one of them has a regular face. Okay, if you look below the ears, the cheeks, can you even see it?
Yeah. Yeah.
Can you see the wide face?
Yeah.
The wide face Mickey is $400. It is rarely marked. It's rarely found. They both have big ears. So if you find the big ears, that's the first test.
Is that the one on the right?
It is the one on the right. That's correct, Glenn. Morgan's sitting about as close as you get, and she's shaking like
I don't know.
Let me spin it around.
Oh.
Better? Still not. All right. We'll do this one later. I'll do a video on it, and we'll get up close and personal. Point is, Mickey's got a wide head, and it's 3 times the price as the one without the wide head. If you find big ears, you're going to find it next to something that's not big ear. You're going to find the little ear variety pretty easily. So if you find the big ear one, just a second, Ryan. If you find the big ear variety, then start looking for a little ear variety and hold them next to each other. And if they have a different size head right here below the ears, you want to buy that big head variety for the big ear price of about 120 bucks. And you've now tripled the value of the Pez, because it's about $400 Pez dispenser. Ryan.
So how about the painted face one with the die cut? There's a painted face one also.
There is a painted face one,
That's
yeah.
hard or
Painted face is, I don't even know, $350 or so. I didn't bring that with me. But yeah, that's a fun one. Thanks. Were there more questions? All right, let's do a couple of ponies. Ponies are, everybody loves a pony. But again, there's orange, right? And then they kind of start shifting around. I'm looking at these right now, I'm like, wait a minute, what did I want to show everybody? I think, yeah, here's a regular orange one. I think. It looks regular. This is about 90 bucks, 80 bucks. Does that sound right, everybody? Regular orange pony, Austria, blue. There's different color bridles, more white, red. And if I show you this one, it looks about the same. About the same. Those of you who are advanced collectors or astute pony shoppers might start looking at the bridle or the color of the orange or the blue. Maybe start looking at the stem, and you'd be right to do so. What you would notice is that this bridle is a little bit different. And what you want to look for is where the strap that comes down meets the thing that goes around its snout, muzzle, whatever that, the nose. I'm going to hold them real close. I'll do it in white so you can see a little bit better. That circle where it meets, where all those pieces meet, right here, you can see the one on the left, the strap coming down the face overlaps the circle. Yeah, anybody see that? That overlap indicates that it is a USA bridle, and therefore more valuable. That alone makes it more valuable. Ideally, it has a USA stem and other USA parts, and there are other things we can talk about. I encourage you to check out Jeff Rosenberg's USA book. But what it also means for this particular piece is that it is the royal blue mane. And while it looks very similar to this, let's see, you go from $90 to $500. Yeah, that's right. Morgan just made a face.
Yeah.
But you can find it on eBay, and if it's poorly described, that little circle is going to tell you that the price goes from $100 to $500. Now, if you had this on eBay, it doesn't have that circle. It has a regular circle. But hopefully you notice that that mane is a lighter blue. That's all it takes. That lighter blue mane is called powder blue. And it'll take you from $100 to $250. Again, hopefully you can win this somewhere in the low 100s, but it's worth about $250. And here's a creamier one. This orange is somewhat tough to see on eBay, but look at it next to one of yours. Hopefully you're crazy like me and you start holding things up next to your computer screen. Is it the same? Is it not? What if I adjust the contrast? That creamy orange is about $450. How am I doing on time? Am I running long?
Yeah, about 10 minutes left.
10 minutes, okay. Feel free to stick around or I'll just go faster. Here, I'll go fast. This is not a big valuation difference, but here are two more ponies. We don't have, these don't have any of the circle differences I just talked to you about, but if you look head on, you'll see that the nose, the snout, on your right,
Yeah.
on this side, is wider than the one on the other side. That means it's a Yugoslavia head. It is a wider nose on the pony. That's right, there are other differences. The manes are different, Jerry says. So, you know, of course the stems are different, there's all kinds of differences. The difference between an Austria and a Yugoslavia pony of this color scheme is only about $25, which is not a lot of money. So we'll go from 100 to 125. You may not see a big difference in the bidding, but the nice thing is if you're looking for those variations or looking for a difference in that mold, you know, that's a nice thing to look for. Look for a difference in the width of the head. This one, this is definitely an eBay find. Again, I've done a video on this one. Here's your full body Santa. There are Austria and Germany variations, and there are variations if you want them all. Again, watch the video I've already done on this. The difference is in the made in Austria or made in Germany here on the back of one of the Santa feet. The easiest way for you to spot this, because the pictures of that are always garbage on eBay, is the paint job. If it looks nice and smooth, this full body Santa, chances are good it's a made in Austria, and you just move on. It's anywhere on eBay from $50 at minimum to $150 Pez dispenser, made in Germany. And look how bad this paint job is. It's like you gave it to one of my kids with a bottle of nail polish and said, go nuts. This is worth $250, $300 more, and it's all because of that made in Germany. There are other differences in the mold itself, in the writing, the number of beard things here, the pointiness of the cap. So some big differences there. Definitely a big difference in value. Sometimes in the description, but rarely do they say made in Germany. So you can find that on eBay and have a big increase in value. All right, I brought the whole set, but this is one I put up as a preview. The quick answer to this question, what's the difference between these identical weird green creatures? This is Japanese mini sets. There were, 45 Japanese mini sets available in vending machines in Japan only. There were 4 mini sets. The only difference between some of those sets is the size of the stem. The mini sets, for the most part, are somewhere in the $25 to $50 range. Some of them are significantly more, including the junior city sets. But the mini sets are somewhere above $225 per set. This particular set is the one-piece set, and some of the eBay vendors, sellers don't know what they're doing. So unfortunately, this set that I purchased, they did. The stems are different. Pez is written horizontally on one side, vertical on the other, and the size is different. I had to have them both. So anyway, you look for, well, just familiarize yourself with the size of these things. If you can find the minis for the price of the minis, go nuts and resell them. People are looking for those mini sets, and they gotta have them, like me. Let's do a couple of pals. I've got a ton of pals at home, and I did not bring them all. That would have been crazy. Sheiks. What are these worth? Oh. I don't know where I wrote this. All right, so I brought 3 Sheiks. Am I on camera there?
Yeah. Oh, yep.
Okay.
Yeah.
The Sheik with the black band is more expensive than the Sheik with the red band. That's kind of entry-level Sheik knowledge. They all look somewhat similar from the front. So if you're looking for a red Sheik and a black Sheik, certainly go with the least expensive. But there are a couple of differences here. The easiest is probably between these two. You look at the top, and this one's got a couple of pins on the diagonals. I always get this mixed up. This is the clip-on, and so the clip-on Burnous is about, I don't know, $125, maybe it's more now. And it's got these 2 pins. But this one, if you look on the sides here, this one is a little more fragile. It doesn't have those pins, and it gets pushed onto those, that's called a push-on one, and it's twice the price. So if you can get a sense from that eBay picture of which one that is, you may be able to get the push-on for the price of the clip-on. If you can't remember which one I just said, aside from watching this again, get the John Laspina price guide, or better yet, no offense to John, the Jeff Rosenberg Pals book. It has pictures of all this stuff. It's also got pictures of the third one I brought, which is going to look at, if you look at right above the forehead, all of the Chics have this little dip in the burnous, or whatever this is called, comes down right over the forehead, whereas this one goes straight across. And maybe this doesn't show well in this video.
Nope, it does.
Oh, yeah.
It does? The one on the right goes straight across. That one's valued at about $300 or so. There was one that sold just a couple of months ago. Unfortunately, there were a couple of folks here at this convention that knew what they were doing and competed against each other, and it went for what it was worth, but poorly described. So, you know, if you get there and don't tell your friends, maybe it'll work out. All right, some eBay finds about subtle color variations. This was one of the previews as well. King Louis. King Louis. King Louis. These guys are all just brown. But when you start looking at them side by side, you start seeing those subtle color variations. The ones that, you know, go into Joe's room, John's room, and look at a bunch of these next to each other. And I'm going to do a video on these next week or so. The ones that, if the hair matches the face, that is a Mexico stem. Definitely should be. If it's not, don't buy it. That's like a $700 Mexico chocolate brown King Louis. Face has got to match the hair like that. If it looks more orange, that's burnt orange. And what is that one? That's close to $400, $350, $400. There's a lot of good value in the King Louis, and there's some crazy colors out there, but you don't need me to tell you that green and red and white are easy to spot. But these shades of orange and brown, you want to watch out for those. Again, poorly described on eBay. This chocolate brown one didn't say Mexico, it didn't say chocolate brown, it just said King Louis. And so I got it on eBay for $200 for a $700 dispenser. Thank you guys for not bidding. I've got maybe 6 or 7 more things. So I'll get you out of here close to on time if you're patient with me.
You're doing fine.
Thanks.
You have plenty of time. All they have to do is eat lunch. Don't worry.
All right, there's room hopping going on. All right, we've got a blue cow. Everybody says, okay, I need a blue cow, I need an orange cow, or yellow cow, whatever cow. I need a cow. We got a blue cow, and we got a blue cow. And, I mean, I've done this myself where I don't know what color cow I've got, all right? Everybody's got a little picture on their phone or a photo book, or I got a list, I got a blue cow already, but do I have that color? Do I have that color? That's a different color. What color do I have? So, and then you pull out John's book, and I love John, but I told him to his face yesterday, John's colorblind. I don't know what medium blue, turquoise, light blue, aqua, I don't know what that means. So I just bought all the blues I could find, and I'll line them up myself, and I'll figure out what he's talking about. So I'm going to line them up for you. I'll see if I can figure this out. So the blues on your right? Yes, that side, thank you. There's 2 different shades of these darker blues, and they're in the $130 range. And I forget what John calls them, but whatever he does, they're both around $130. That one in the medium, in the middle, sorry, we're going to call turquoise. It's different, but standing all by itself, it kind of looks like a normal blue. But, I don't know, hopefully this will stick with you. If you see something that looks a little bit different, think twice, say, dealer, hold on to this for me, and then go find another blue and compare it.
They didn't silence their phone.
That turquoise in the middle will take you from about $130 to $550.
Wow.
So take some chances, buy something at $130, maybe you'll have a double, but maybe you'll have a $550 dispenser. These powder ones, this is a chance I took. I thought maybe, you know what, I might have a powder, a double powder, but you know, I can sell a double powder. It might take me a little while. Turned out I have 2 different ones, which is maybe the worst case because now I have to keep them both. They're both about $450.
Wow.
And I thought maybe I'd have a double and I've got a good deal, but they're different. They're totally different. Okay, that's cows. Did I do the other cows? Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, Phyllis, I don't know if Phyllis is here, but she had a question about a nurse that she found earlier this week. So here's a similar version of the Maharaja. Thanks. Maharaja on the right, thanks, has a whiter face than most. Take a look. So actually, if you go to, is it Pez Pal? Jeff Rosenberg's Facebook page, I forget what it's called, but it's the Pez Pal one. He's got in the pinned section of the Facebook thing, he's got the Excel spreadsheet or Google Sheets with all of his content for his book. So you can sort by whatever you want to sort for, and you can find out every pal that has characteristics that you're looking for. So you can find everyone that's got a white face, and that's what this is. This is a white face Maharaja. If you find, say on eBay, a stem that has no patent information and no made in country information, you might get excited that you found something that's from Brazil, but there's a much greater chance that you found something that was manufactured in the US, so it's a USA stem, but for sale in Canada. That's what these are. And this is they're regular heads, or they are a whiter variety of the heads, and that's what you're looking at right here. That's a whiter version of a face. So if you see a white face, take a look at that stem. It's going to have that same consistency as a USA stem. Here they are side by side. Hopefully you can see the difference in the face color. The other things to look for on things like the Maharaja are the color of the sleeve inside. That green sleeve is, hold on a second, value-wise, this is more of an eBay find than here at a convention. The green sleeve will push you up to about $250. You also see, if you can see how far the turban drops down in the back. One drops down far and the other one doesn't. I can't remember the value difference on that, but if you like a variation, that's something fun to collect. Green sleeves are something I'm still searching for, and I probably should have kept my mouth shut. So don't search for those. Now, I think I completed my collection of these, so go nuts. These nurses both have white hair. I just noticed that they have very different hats. One is almost transparent, the other is white. But you may have difficulty seeing that the stems are different colors. They both look light blue, but they're not. One is light blue and one is sea foam. The sea foam, if you can't tell the difference, it's difficult on your computers, on your phones. The light blue is Austria. Let me check. Yep, indeed, Austria. The sea foam, every single time, is going to be a 2.6 Yugoslavia stem with double half flowers. If you don't know what double half flower is, under the word Yugoslavia, it's going to have 2 semicircles, kind of like cups, the flat side on the top. We'll talk about that another time. The value, whatever a nurse goes for these days, upper 100s, just under 200, somewhere in there. The sea foam is about $300, and it's solely because of the stem. You'll find it, I think, on all 4 nurses, meaning brown, orange, blonde, and yellowish. You'll find it on the White Knight, and I think the Doctor, and that's it. So, no, maybe the Pirate, but just on PALs, if my memory serves. So this is a really rare stem to find. $300. 4 more things and we're out. Garfield, Nermal, Dollar Bin. They look similar enough. Yeah, there's a stem color variation, but that's not important. There are a couple of variations here, and you've heard me talk about it before. The first is you can look on the back of this at the copyright, which won't come out on this, but it doesn't matter. If you've got reading glasses, this is the time to use them. The copyright should say Nermal. This is the little annoying cat that bothers Garfield. If it says Nermal, great. If it says, bless you, if it doesn't say that. If it says Garfield, that's one error, and maybe that's more valuable all on its own. But if it says Garfield, you might want to see if it is the true Garfield mold, and look for the cheeks. The easiest way for me to see it on eBay is not going to be the copyright on the back. It's going to be whether it's got this bump, and we're looking on your left here, the bump on the cheeks. Morgan, can you see it on the video?
Yeah.
Yes.
You should be able to see it very easily in the picture. The Nermal on the right has a big smooth face at its cheeks. If you see that, move on to the next auction. But if you see the bumps on the cheeks, you're looking at a $75 piece. Jason Reek, are you here? Did you get one recently? Congratulations. Jason's been looking for one in the wild for quite a while and technically found one. Oh, found one. In the wild, perhaps. And I think I just sold, I had 3 of these, and I sold 2 of them for $75 a piece. So I hope you find these, and truly you can find these in the dollar bin. I hope you find some today. Possible dollar bin finds as well on the $5 section is your no web Spider-Man. I hope you all know about these, and if you don't, here's a great easy find for you, hopefully. You're going from a $5-ish find, these are no feet Spider-Man, to a $200 plus item. These are going to be on Hong Kong stems. The no web means the entire back half of the head. It's easy to see if we look at it on the side. I'm not talking about the back third, the back quarter. I'm talking about the entire back half of the head has no web at all. All right? And there are many variations of this, but you need that entire back half to count. Now, the way I spot these on eBay, and a number of you here have successfully done as well, is to look at the eyes. Not all of them that have these kind of black carved out pupils. Can you see that? See the difference in the white section of the eyes? One of them's kind of carved out. That means take a look at the back if you can, or take a chance. You might be going from a $5 Pez dispenser to a $200+ Pez dispenser. That's it on that one. 4 more. Easy. The size matters. The penguin's beak. This penguin whistle, forget the colors, only Jason Heimbach cares about the color of the...
That's not true.
Oh, all right, we got a couple people fighting over the color of the blower in the back, but the length of the penguin's beak will take you from, I don't know, $4 to $5 to $20. A longer beak is more expensive. Maybe that's something you can find that people don't notice, but we've also got difference in, at least in this one, thick feet and thin feet, and so maybe people will know.
Is that one blue?
This is what?
Is that one blue?
That's true. This, the one on your right is also a black head versus a dark blue head. But to many, perhaps this is just a penguin whistle. There's a difference in value from 5 or so to 20 or so. Home stretch. Real fast on this one. Here's Odie. You may have seen many videos on this, including one from me a couple of days ago. They're both Odie. Take a look at the tongues in the back. One's got a divot to save on plastic, one does not. We're talking about $1 to maybe $5. The one with no divot is more expensive because it's a rarer variation. There's nothing in the price guide on this. This is more of a word of mouth type of variation. 2. All right, here are some long-faced clowns. A big favorite for everybody, most people, because of the so many variations of these guys. There are kind of big picture. There are of course all the stem colors, but there are hats, noses, and hair pieces. There's red, there's green, there's yellow, but there's more. There's red, there's green, there's yellow, and in my view, you've got to have all three. There are some people who will argue it's okay to have, say, red, red, and red. I don't buy it. You got to have red, green, and yellow. You can have ivory faces or white faces. But for true variations in the value, look for orange parts instead of yellow. Look for lemon yellow parts, like the guy on the left. Look at that hat, is more lemon yellow. The guy on the right has an orange hat. The one on the yellow stem has orangey hair. There is bright red, which I'm not sure that I brought, darker red. Look for something out of the ordinary. The orange and the lemon yellow are going to increase the value by at least $10 to $20. And last, I think, but certainly not least, is the space guns. I think this is, of all my videos, I think the space guns is maybe one of the more heavily viewed ones. And you know, one day, I think Glenn has said he's going to give me some of his rare space guns. Right, Glenn? He's on a 7-second delay. So this was not a eBay find for me, but well, some of them are. But there's your typical yellow space gun. Yellow is probably not the best thing to. Well, I'll show you why. But the blues are really tough. And John, I heard you had some blues in your room, and I missed those. Those blue, yeah. The blues by themselves, they're really tough to tell the differences. There's blue, there's medium blue, there's turquoise, there's all kinds of tough stuff. But familiarize yourself if you can. Just go into the rooms and look at them and realize how many differences there are. This yellow is the regular yellow. I don't know what it goes for. A few $100. But if you saw this yellow, would you, all by itself, would you know that it's a different yellow? That you should know that there's a different yellow to look for? That's a tough one. But if you see them side by side, it's clear that there are differences in those yellows. In John's book, the yellow, hold on a second. Do I have this somewhere? This yellow, John's current book will say is $300. This powdery blue yellow in John's book is $2,000 to $2,500.
Wow.
Somebody, is it Angela?
Yeah.
Just sold one of these on eBay and is I think, is the only other one, or are there 3 now? Just sold for over $4,000. And so people knew what they were going for at that time. Nobody was going to underbid that one. So there's a huge difference out there in knowing the colors. And so I encourage everybody here to not just go into the rooms and with your want list and just, kind of check things off. Spend some time in there really focusing on why are those things that look so similar have such different prices. Now, why is that one $50 and that one that looks just like it $150? Joe is never going to finish putting these prices on all of his things. That's not how this works. But Joe's really good about explaining why it's different. He's quick, but listen carefully. They will educate you. The beauty of this community is that anybody in this room that knows the answer to your question is going to tell you. They'll be patient with you. So please ask, please educate yourself. It could be the difference between $300 and $4,000. And I would love for you guys to find those diamonds in the rough. That's the whole point of what I do with the videos, is to educate folks and share what I know, what I've spent 20 some odd years doing for myself. I'm kind of, I don't know about done, but I've found a ton of stuff, and I'd love to be able to share that with you. So I hope this was helpful for everybody. I'm going to pack this stuff up and Happy to answer any questions afterwards.